So the best thing that happened to me in CAS this year was to have the opportunity to actually work on our initiated activity, which is the Yellow Butterfly project. A year ago, no, roughly a year ago, I stumbled upon a blog and clicked on a video because it had the name of the city where I come from, and I was really shocked to find out that there were kids out there from my city who had to actually swim to school. And I was shocked because, well, I mean, I come from the city and yet I knew nothing about it. Not many people were actually aware of the situation. So I said, okay, well, why not do something about it? So I asked a friend of mine if he was up to doing it as our initiated CAS activity. So like, okay. So at first it took a long time for me to actually do something about it, because I was really apprehensive on doing this kind of project, especially since once you start a project like this, when you get to contact with the right people and they expect something from you, you really have to be committed to it all the way through and not just back out halfway. So we did a lot of thinking and asked for our friends' help and advice. So we planned out our proposal, stating our aim and what our goal was, which is basically to raise awareness and hoping that there would be somehow a domino effect. So we also stated how would we be able to do this. So the first thing, when we got the approval from Mr. Whitehead, which is our CAS coordinator, the first thing we did was, okay, well, how would we approach the situation? How would we raise awareness? So we folded roughly 260 boats on a weekend with Liz and Carlo to actually hand out before the swim galas, because we wanted to raise awareness during the swim gala, wherein students would have to swim with a bag filled with stuff, so from one side to the other side, just to have them kind of like a simulation to show them what these kids as young as 5 to 6 were experiencing every day just to get to school. So after raising awareness within the high school campus, I got the opportunity to work with different people like the 9th graders, such as Callista, Shuren, Olithia, Lori, Audrey, and Yana, Suho, and Shabiu. So because of having a bigger group, meaning more people who can actually put input, our output as a group was really, I think, really impressive, even more than what I actually imagined or expected. And we worked together to plan the YBH Awareness Week, which is really successful, and we also joined the ISS Fun Fair. We raised awareness and we also raised a bit of money, which I think was really successful, because I didn't think that the games would be a success, but it ended really quick because of Olithia's motivation. Also across our table was Mr. Dolforno's class, because we had a small talk with them a few days before the ISS Fun Fair, and they decided to help us out by having a lucky draw, and they roughly raised $90. So I think that was a good experience for me, because I think that because of our small talk, it somehow created an effect that they actually tried to do something to help us out. And also, Surya and Erdo did a football tournament to raise awareness about the Elbow of Hope, and they also raised funds. When I did this activity, I learned more about my country and also my city, which gives me a sense of connection, because I now live in Singapore. Also, I learned to be more confident about my ideas. If you have an idea, just do it. I mean, yeah, you think about it, of course, but just do it. And if it doesn't really go according to plan, like usually nothing really goes according to plan, just find an alternative solution. Also, by doing this activity, my confidence in myself was boosted a lot. I used to be really shy, and I don't really like stating my ideas because I always thought, oh, no, never mind, it's all wrong. But doing this activity has actually taught me to be more confident in myself, which I think will really help me in the future. Also, when I started doing this activity, I started to value my education more, because sometimes the little things we have in life are the things that we take for granted, and these things that we take for granted are actually the things that other kids out there who actually really value the most. So that's one of the reasons why I started this activity, because the stairs that people usually complain at our school actually is a lot better than having to swim 2.2 kilometers and walk another kilometer or so. I think one of the reasons why Yellow Boat of Hope was successful this year is because there was a lot of planning and thought and time management and commitment put into it. Planning was one of the first things we did, because it was really important. It's really important when you initiate an activity, you have plans, because you can't really come up with an activity on one day and do it the next day. There's a lot of planning involved. So we did a lot of planning before we did the Swim Gala awareness, the YBH Awareness Week, and also when we joined the ISS Fun Fair. Prior to that, we had lots of research. It was really important for us because the foundation itself is not based in Singapore, so we needed to find information about the foundation, so when people ask us questions, we can answer them. Also, when you have an initiated activity, it's advisable to try and have more than one plan, or like if an idea, more than one idea, because if you have one idea, then you're limiting yourself to just that idea. But if you have 3 different ideas, then you can kind of have incorporate an idea from a component from the second idea to the first idea, or whichever, vice versa. Also, one of the things that you should do when you initiate an activity is to learn how to manage your time. It's really important in IB to manage time, because if you don't manage time, then your work just gets on top of each other, and it's really difficult to try and straighten things out when you're trapped in the cycle where things just pile on top one another. So yeah, that's one of the things I learned when I did this initiated activity. Also, when you do an initiated activity, I really suggest that you should do something that you're actually interested in. You don't do it just because other people are doing it. If you're into arts, then do something artsy. Don't force yourself to do something that you know that you're not going to have fun. Because if you actually do something that you're not really keen on doing, then you feel more as if it's an obligation to do, and you won't have fun. And when you don't have fun, the activity just sucks. You won't really get anything from it. So yeah, you should do something that's interesting to you. Also, if you're the leader, or a member in general, actually, of a group, then you should learn how to listen to other people. Which is one of the things that I learned this year. I think it's really important to listen to other people, because when you do listen to other people, you can incorporate their ideas to your ideas to make one really, really good idea. Also, I think lastly, you should just really have fun when you do your CAS activity, because when you have fun, then what you're actually doing doesn't seem like work. Doesn't feel like as if it's an obligation. So yeah, that's it.